After a decade of handstand push-ups and teaching hundreds to master them, I've seen exactly why most people waste years getting nowhere and why my clients get their first rep in months, not years. Today, I'm exposing the 4 biggest lies that keep 90% of people stuck forever and revealing the exact system I use to help my clients go from 0 to freestanding handstand push-ups. This will be the most complete handstand push-up tutorial you've ever seen, so you never need to watch another one. Let's dive in. The freestanding handstand push-up is the ultimate display of exceptional overhead pressing strength and balance combined. And here's what most people don't understand about biomechanics. The forward lean isn't just required by physics, it's about optimization. A slight forward lean lets you use your upper chest to assist your shoulders, creating a better strength distribution. It also allows for a narrower hand placement, which is more joint friendly and transfers better to even more sophisticated skills. The key muscles making this possible: anterior deltoids, flexing your shoulders, most important muscle; triceps, extending your elbows; upper chest, assisting with shoulder flexion; serratus anterior, maintaining shoulder blade protraction; trapezius, controlling shoulder blade elevation; and core and legs, keeping that rigid body line. And here's the first lie that has left many of you paralyzed in your progress. Tutorials showing 15 plus exercises you supposedly need to master before the freestanding handstand push-ups. This overcomplication is one of the biggest scams in calisthenics education. Influencers overwhelming you with options because that's what gets views, but it's keeping you stuck and confused. And every exercise you should ever do should serve a very clear purpose at your exact level. The truth is that you can get from 0 to freestanding handstand push-ups with just 3 main exercises and their variations. It's not about collecting the exercise, it's about progressing through the right ones systematically. And here's the second lie that's destroying your progress: the perfect form police. Saying you need perfect form from day one. Never arch your back, always keep elbows tucked, hollow body is mandatory from the start. And that's how thousands were discouraged to quit before even starting proper training. The truth is that there are actually 2 very valid techniques. Beginner style, which is usually called the wrong form, with a wider palm placement, a shallow pike, somewhat flat elbows, and a natural arch at the back. And the advanced style, which is usually called the right form, with a narrow placement, tucked elbows, and hollow body. But sometimes it's best to start with the wrong form, which is really just an easier variation, and then progress to perfection as you get stronger. Because beginners don't have the basic strength to execute the perfect form of the easiest pike push-ups. But this third lie is much worse and keeping 90% of people stuck at beginner level. Just do attempts, bro. Just keep attempting freestanding handstand push-ups and you'll perfect them eventually. This is the best way to waste time and not make any progress. Doing the occasional 1 rep max attempts give you no progressive overload, no training stimulus, and maximum injury risk at the same time. But here's what actually works: systematic strength building through progressions where you can get a minimum of 3 reps, not desperate single attempts. And here is the 4th lie that's stealing months of your time. Master handstands first and then handstand push-ups will be easy. This is nonsense. I had a 1-arm handstand before being able to do a single proper freestanding handstand push-up. Right now, my clients with a 30-second handstand hold will absolutely destroy the handstand master when it comes to freestanding handstand push-ups. And here's why. Overhead pressing strength and balance are 2 completely different skills, and you need both components developed separately and only then combined. So stop wasting months only perfecting handstands when you should be building pressing strength right now. These 4 lies have kept thousands of people stuck for years, and if you are tired of wasting time and want your first freestanding handstand push-up rep in months, not years, message me on Instagram at Likert right now with the word handstand push-up. I'll analyze exactly where you're at and create your custom roadmap. But first, here is the exact system that actually works, taking you from 0 to freestanding handstand push-ups. Phase 1. Pike push-up mastery. You could do all of the strength development with just this one exercise because it's almost infinitely scalable. Here's how to do it systematically. Start with a shallow pike with your hands and feet wide apart, and as you get stronger, go more steep, gradually loading more and more weight onto your shoulders. Avoid this common mistake of turning it into a regular push-up, pushing horizontally with your chest. You must press overhead with your shoulder. This is the only way that transfers to the handstand push-ups. If the most shallow pike push-ups are too hard for you, band assisted Assisted Pike push-ups can help you learn pressing overhead and ease into shoulder training safely. You can apply the same progression principle here. And when you are efficient in your steepest possible Pike push-ups, elevate your feet on a bench or a box to load even more weight onto your shoulders. It is not just about the height of the elevation, it's about how much weight you're consciously able to load on your shoulders. Elevation simply makes it more automatic. As you get proficient at those, you can also add a deficit with parallettes or small platforms underneath your palm, working the complete shoulder range of motion. Phase 2, wall integration. Starting with the easiest variation, back to wall handstand push-ups. Wide palm placement and a natural arch at the back are expected in the beginning and normal. But as you get stronger, tuck those elbows in more and place your palms a bit closer. While it might not look like it, the next variation is much more challenging. Chest to wall handstand push-ups. More forward lean is required here to not fall over your head, but this builds the exact strength pattern for freestanding handstand push-ups. You can start with an easier wide palm placement here as well and progress to narrower as you get stronger. But remember that the freestanding handstand push-up consists of two equally important components: overhead pressing strength and solid handstand balance. And balance is the make or break for freestanding handstand push-ups. You need a minimum 30-second handstand hold consistently. If you can't hit it most of the time, balance practice should be your priority. And for the strength development, stick with wall push-up training and don't waste your time on freestanding handstand push-up attempts yet. This is the most straightforward balance progression. Again, back to wall, chest to wall, and then freestanding handstand balance attempts with kick-ups. And for your balance, some tips to keep in mind: grip the ground with your fingertips instead of just resting on your palms. This gives you the control you need. Always look for the sweet spot in your balance where corrections are minimal. Practice daily for 10 to 15 minutes when fresh. And parallettes make balancing easier, giving you two directional wrist controls. So we can go a lot more depth into balance specifically, but that will have to be another video. Freestanding integration. If you have both the strength and the balance, congratulations, you can immediately jump into freestanding handstand push-up attempts. If you have the strength but need balance refinement, you can do handstand press-ups or press into handstand and control negatives, lowering down slowly. But remember, these are for balance and extra skill practice, not strength training. And if your strength isn't there yet, you're skipping progressions. Go back to wall training and build strength systematically. So, if you've done everything properly up to this point, in a few attempts you should be able to succeed with some freestanding handstand push-ups. A pro tip most people miss: that strength training and balance practice require completely different training frequencies. Strength training you can do 2 to 3 times per week with high intensity and full recovery needed. On the other hand, balance training you can do 5 to 6 times per week, almost daily, as a skill practice for 10 to 15 minutes when fresh and not fatigued. So the winning formula is high frequency balance practice plus moderate frequency strength training separately. A realistic timeline for this is 6 to 12 months, depending on starting strength, consistency, and training structure. However, most people do end up taking years because they train randomly without proper structure and guidance. But you can do it much faster with the right system. The freestanding handstand push-up is not about superhuman strength or genetic gifts. It's about having the right system. Most people fail because they fall for these lies and train randomly. You now have the blueprint that actually works. If you want me personally to assess where you're at right now and create your custom roadmap to get to your first freestanding handstand push-up, message me on Instagram at Legert with the word handstand push-up right now. I'll analyze your specific strengths and weaknesses and create your strategy to success. Don't spend years spinning your wheels following outdated advice. Let's get you there the smart way.